Oh, sorry.
Stranger in your house?
Yeah. I heard the doorbell.
Mailman. Other dogs walking on your street.
Fucking mailman. Nobody mows my lawn.
Is that a euphemism for something?
Yes, it is. He was fucking my mom. Although I'm a dog in the scenario, so it's fucking my dog mom. I don't know. Do you want to start over?
No.
All right.
I'm interested in finding out more about your
we'll
dog
live
mom.
Flesh out this scenario.
Dog mom, huh?
Dog mom. Mailman fucking my dog mom. I'm a dude dog. I got a dog mom.
You are, yeah.
All right.
Does that make her...
Go on.
No, I was trying to think... a DMILF.
Dog mom, I like to fuck. All right.
So I was gonna say DILF, but I was like, it doesn't really work.
That's already dad.
Yeah.
Obviously.
BILF? A BILF?
What's the B?
Bitch, I'd like to...
I feel like that's too general. No, I think you got it right the first time with DeMilf. Cecil B. DeMilf.
D apostrophe. No.
I also feel like someone with that first name is like a tight end for the Cincinnati Bengals or something. DeMilf Ferguson / hieroglyphic.
Hazardous waste sign.
Cecil B. DeMilf got me good.
All right.
We already got our go, so it doesn't now the pressure's off, and now we don't need to be funny for the rest of the show.
Great, so this will be like a regular one when Dan's here.
Oh, shit! Alright.
He doesn't listen.
He doesn't. So I'm Scott.
I'm Drew.
That's Drew. Dan and Kelly are both still fired.
Yep. Kelly might get he might get rehired on a probationary period.
We're in negotiations with his management.
Yeah, his dog management. Dog lawyers.
I'd watch that show.
Dog lawyers? Yeah.
I'd watch Dog Lawyers. I'd watch The Practice just with dogs.
I just imagine it like...
I mean...
like Chicken Law and Order.
Cameron Manheim basically already is. Boom! Eat shit, Cameron Manheim, you fat bitch. In 1999. I don't know, maybe you got the surgery now. Maybe you're good.
The surgery?
The lap band. No, sorry. The other surgery.
Oh.
Not the surgery.
Not the surgery.
No.
She's not a dog.
She's not literally... No, she can't literally star in my Dog Lawyer show. Yet.
So, this is the worst year of our...
This is our worst episode. Good night.
This might be our worst episode. That's not true. There's worse episodes than this. It is the worst half year. Second half year.
We are coming hot on the heels of our longest, latest, smoke loudest, and consensus dumbest episode that we have done, which was met with almost universal praise. So you've encouraged this sort of behavior for just me and Drew to not call Dan and Kelly, go out on Drew's patio, smoke loud, and do the podcast.
Get high in the hoe house.
Get high in the hoe house.
Yep, that's our life now.
This is on you guys, basically.
Mm-hmm.
This blood is on your hands. I assume no responsibility for anything that has or will happen.
I mean, I feel like the responsibility falls on me, and I don't want that. So, I'm relinquishing all control of this podcast.
We're going public with this podcast, so just whoever buys the most shares, you both own the podcast and assume liability for it.
Anything we say or do on this podcast
is your property, and therefore your fault.
Yeah. So when they come for us, we're sending them for you.
Yeah.
So, July 10th, 2000, from the wonderful, wonderful city of Jacksonville, Florida.
If you showed me just pictures of the crowd, told me no other information, and said, hey, what city is this? Without breathing, I would say Jacksonville, Florida. Mm. This is the most year 2000 Jacksonville group of people I've ever seen in my life. Like, everyone has shiny shirts on. Yeah. Everyone's wearing Kangol hats.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
too much floral print.
Yeah. Sunglasses inside.
Sunglasses inside. Lays for some reason, even though it's the wrong side of the ocean.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So this is the Nitro After Bash at the Beach.
post-Bash. Not a lot of Hogan talk for how integral he was in last night's goings-on.
Yeah, that's interesting. They did mention... Commentary did
that
mention...
They can't say what happened.
Mention what happened.
Whether or not that's true, it might actually be true.
Because as we familiar with, and we talked about last show, is the old lay down for Hogan, win the title, cuts a promo about the company being in the toilet, and then Russo cuts a shoot promo on Hogan, calls him a big bald bastard. Hogan gets mad and sad and sues him.
Yeah.
So the start of the show is there is a video package giving the rundown of
the movie The Rundown, starring The Rock and Sean William Scott.
Several years before it was made.
Yeah.
They're essentially just running down the situation that happened with Booker T winning the title. They don't mention anything about Hogan Jarrett.
No, they're just like, hey, for some reason, Jeff Jarrett versus Booker T happens.
Vince Russo, who returns at this pay-per-view, made this match. So we get like a nice video package. Then Booker comes to the ring in the arena, as we described, dressed as a heel.
Dressed like the biggest asshole heel. He's a complete face,
like,
but...
super baggy, shiny blue shirt.
He's wearing blue and purple silk pajamas.
Yeah, like, it's the most heel. He cuts a promo, essentially, quote-unquote, not in character, but it's 100% in character, thanking the fans.
Yeah.
He then proceeds to call out Goldberg and call Goldberg a mark for himself.
M-A-R-K.
M-A-R-K. You're a mark for yourself.
Yeah.
In front of the crowd, which is great. Like I said to Scott, it is amazing that wrestling survived after 2000's WCW.
It shouldn't have. After watching as much as we have, there's no reason wrestling should have continued to go on as an entity after the year 2000.
All it was just exposing everything they could about the business.
And then, after it did go on in 2000, there's also no reason that the invasion shouldn't have further killed it.
Yeah, true.
Like, there's no reason, like, no one can make an excuse for wrestling existing past 2001.
Hey, here's an invasion, but we're going to use guys that are already on the roster and have been here forever.
It'll be exciting.
Sure. Steve Austin hasn't wrestled for WCW in 7 years, but he's on Team Invasion now because he really likes the place he only worked for a few years.
This will make us money for years and years, and definitely won't bring to a swift end the most profitable era in professional wrestling history.
It didn't.
Right?
It didn't at all.
Didn't. Things only went up from there.
Yeah.
As you look at any financial... Well, actually... What's so upsetting is I was going to say look at any financial chart for WWE. It actually is going up now because of the stupid fucking TV rights fees.
Yeah.
And they're going to make 1 billion times what they made in the year 2000 when they were like they were sort of a real company.
Sort of. I like too that they're coming off the heels of their worst rated Raw ever of all time.
Yep, that's right.
And then they're like, yeah, well, you know what? We're making $1 billion, so we don't really care what our ratings are. So, hey, fans, you can keep crying, but we don't give a shit.
We can do literally anything.
Anything. Now they're not going to be afraid to make Roman Reigns champion.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
And even though they're paying Brock Lesnar roughly $700 million per appearance, they're fine, like, completely burying him and, like, ruining his heat.
Yeah, because they want people like Roman.
And it's working?
Not really.
I know.
Not even a little bit. I think people just don't care anymore. Like, I was at the gym and was riding the bike. And
brag.
Humble brag. And I was I watched the TV monitor that's on the bike when I'm doing cardio, so that it distracts me from the fact that I'm doing cardio. So the only thing that was on was Raw.
Yeah.
So I had to watch. I didn't have to. It was either nothing or Raw, so I watched Raw.
I think you might have made the wrong call.
And it was the triple threat between Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley, and Elias. And when the only good wrestler in the match is Elias, that's kind of saying something about what you're putting on as a main event. Bobby Lashley's horrible.
Yeah.
Like awful.
Yeah, he's been, like, actively bad since he came back, right?
There are women wrestlers that are better than Bobby Lashley.
Don't you ever say that. Drew, say what you will about Bobby Lashley, but do not say that a woman is better than him. Unless she is a Japanese woman.
There are white women.
No!
That are better wrestlers than Bobby Lashley.
Hear it. I can't.
Asia.
It's impossible. Drew, you know the hierarchy of wrestlers, and there is no crossover. There are defined lines between every group. bottom of the group, female midget wrestlers. Next, regular female wrestlers, non-Japanese. Next, animals. Next.
Like WrestleMania?
Like WrestleMania. Next, male midget wrestlers. Next, regular-sized black male wrestlers. Next, other colored full-sized male wrestlers. Next, Japanese women. Next, Great Khali. There are no arguments any which way. There's no crossover. You take everyone in every one of those categories, draw a line, next category. I was just gonna turn it off right now.
Okay, so Stevie Ray comes out, and we were hoping to get Stevie Ray versus Booker T main event for the title.
Yes, which we hypothesized could be the first all-black world title match ever, legit.
Yeah, like possibly, but
but still not happened, and probably has never happened.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't get it because Stevie comes out and tells Booker how much.
Because who would we as white people cheer for?
That is correct.
Right?
You need
toss a coin, boom, both.
Toss a coin and then hate your choice and just decide to not cheer for either one.
Just be racist Two-Face.
yeah.
Just like flip the coin and like one side it's the regular head and the other side is the head in blackface.
George Washington in blackface.
And don't tell me George Washington never did blackface.
All men are created equal. You know what we mean.
You know what I mean.
So Stevie and Booker have a nice hug out. Out comes Steiner's music plays, and out comes Medeja of all people who is allowed to speak on a microphone for some reason. Microphone for the first time ever in her career, and just is awful.
I think it's her first time speaking English in her career.
It's probably the first time anybody's let her open her mouth for a reason that's not sexual.
She spent more of her waking life with a ball gag than not.
She essentially says that nobody deserves the title more than Scotty.
In the WCW.
In the WCW. The World Championship Wrestling.
The World Championship Wrestling.
Steiner then comes, I guess, through the crowd.
By the way, we used to be involved in a cursory fashion with a different local backyard promotion called VBW, and it infuriated us to no end that they always called it the VBW, the Vancouver Backyard Wrestling. Why? It's not. Just because it works for some things, like it works for the WWF, the World Wrestling Federation, because a federation is a physical thing. Mm-hmm. So you can call it the that. You can't call something the blah blah wrestling. It doesn't work.
Does not work.
I hate it.
Anyways, Steiner comes through the crowd in theory and attacks Booker from behind, turning heel, which is a recurring theme on this episode, along with women talking.
Two poor choices. Too many face heel turns, too many women allowed to speak.
But too many face heel turns just like out of nowhere.
Just like, here's what I am now.
Just like for the sake of doing
I had the surgery, here's what I am now.
The pay-per-view was last night, so we need to like reset, so you're a face, you're a heel.
Yeah, you're a horse.
Yeah.
If you got that good surgery.
The good stuff.
Yeah.
We got to the back where Jeff Jarrett is cutting a promo with Paula Poundtown.
Have we ever said what her name is for real? Also, what is her name for real?
Paula Poundshock?
Poundshock?
Which is the worst name ever.
And is it Paula or is it Pamela?
I don't know.
See? We don't know.
Who cares? Super Brawl Saturday?
I don't know.
Shirts are too small. As Jarrett's cutting the promo, Steiner blindsides him and just throws him into the set.
So Steiner's a man without a country. He hates faces, he hates heels, he hates sets.
Yeah. He got stripped of the U.S. title at the pay-per-view for putting the Steiner recliner on Mike Awesome.
For using his very safe finisher.
It was banned by the cap.
Because it's too dangerous.
He's a face who gets stripped of the title for using his finisher to then come back the next night and turn heel immediately.
Yeah. Even though everything that was done up to this point should have been to get him sympathy.
Yes.
Or to use Scott Steiner vernacular, SSVE, simpy.
Simpy. Shane Douglas comes out with Tori Wilson that confused us. We then got a recap.
Was I even counting her in the turns, or do we have 7 turns on this show?
7.
7 if you count Goldberg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy fuck. Yeah, I don't think I was counting Tori.
So we were confused.
But yeah, Tori's a heel
We were
now.
confused because Tori had been on TV for a while, and then they showed us a recap of the pay-per-view.
The last we saw
That
of her, Horace was trying to cut Kidman with her, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, unless we missed a bunch of Thunder stuff.
Of Thunders, yeah.
But so we get a recap of Buff versus Douglas for the pay-per-view last night, where like out of nowhere, Tori comes down and you think she's with Buff, and then but nothing has ever led us. There's no connection between the two of them until she just shows up at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and I get from the sounds of it, mid-match she slaps Shane Douglas to confirm she's with Buff.
Yeah,
and then costs Buff the match at the end because swerves is swerves.
Swerves is swerves. So it's Shane Douglas versus Crowbar, who Crowbar is with Daphne after last week.
All
Daphne
that
got her
nonsense.
head shaved or whatever, haircut.
Her hair got bent.
But then they thought that she thought it was Crowbar or whatever.
Yeah.
But apparently they're still
They
together.
just came out
Nothing
together.
matters.
I guess
Nothing matters.
a lot of things have happened.
When they were giving the replay of the pay-per-view, Mark Madden referred to Buff versus Douglas as the Battle of the Champions.
That's correct.
Which championship titles do these two gentlemen have?
Currently, I was going to say ever. I'm like, Buff had the WCW tag.
Well, they were tag team champions.
They were tag team champions. Shane had the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, then threw it down and said, this is extreme.
Uh-huh.
How do you like that? It was that on August 26, 1994? You bet it was.
Autism.
Do I also have autism? Hey, you betcha.
Are you on the spectrum? You are. So when Crowbar gets to the ring, he proceeds to do big jumping back bumps, just as his character.
That was funny as shit.
And he goes to take a big one, but Shane leans in to throw a punch.
Because Shane had watched him already do two back bumps, and he's like, all right, that's enough. So Shane starts coming in with a punch, and he just does another back bump. It was really funny looking.
Yeah. So Douglas wins, whatever.
The match is okay.
The match is fine.
Douglas was not as slow as last week, except his transition into his finisher, which was glacial in its speed.
Yeah. I just wrote down Lazy Douglas returns.
Yeah. I think Crowbar Devon Storm would have been a bigger thing in wrestling 5 to 8 years later.
I would say 2004 he would have been a bigger deal.
He was like a proto indie guy. Any indie guy who made a name before the year 2000 just got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Because the best one was probably I guess Quackenbush is sort of the exception because he endured. But besides him, the best pre-2000 indie guy was Reckless Youth, and no one's even heard of him anymore.
Yeah.
And then you got all those Northeast guys like Devon Storm and who's Devon Storm's counterpart? Ace Darling. Nobody knows Ace Darling anymore.
What about
the first indie guys?
Quiet Storm.
Quiet Storm, yeah. Well, he's. I think he's held the title in Noah this year.
Really?
Legit. The other, all of those Whipwreck trainee guys are dead.
What was his partner's name?
Storm and Chris Divine.
Chris Divine.
Chris Divine was gone by 03.
That's right.
And then you had same thing with Brian XL.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Brian XL.
And Red, the SAT obviously went longer and Red and stuff, but
Chris Bosch.
Fuck, I love Chris Bosch.
A little bit later, but
yeah,
he became a born-again Christian or something, didn't he?
Something upsetting like that.
Jesus. After saying he used to say all of the awful things.
Oh, so many.
And then was you know what? I think Jesus is right. I should stop talking like this. What a loser.
Still a better fate as far as earlier 2000 SoCal guys than former Revolution Pro star Rising Sun, who when we met Bebo, we're hey, whatever happened to Rising Sun? And Bebo was oh, he's dead. And we're okay, good talk.
All of my friends are dead. The next thing I wrote was stop letting...
And that's the end of the show.
That's the end of the show. I just wrote stop letting ladies talk because Tori cuts a promo.
Oh, Tori cuts a heel promo and
about Kidman's small wiener.
Yeah, which we're why are who did Kidman piss off that they did nothing but call him a virgin and unable to sexually perform last week, and now Tori's making cracks at him even though he didn't do anything to her. And then remember that, this is all to set up the Kidman Shane Douglas Viagra on a pole match.
Viagra on a pole. And then Buff runs down and he beats up Douglas, and then who gives a shit? Then we got Kidman in the back, being interviewed by Pamela Poundalot. I don't know what her name is.
That was it.
He refers to that if Shane Douglas really wants his sloppy seconds, then he can have them.
Yep.
Jarrett then cuts off the interview.
Check out what my dick tastes like, Shane.
That's not the only Shane who needs to know what somebody's wiener tastes like.
Friend of the show, Shane Sweeney?
Sure. During the Jarrett cutting off Kibben for the interview, Kibben tries to cut him off by giving him like the worst club to the back, like the weakest thing ever. And then they brawl a bunch. Yeah. And then that's the end of that. And then you get the limo arriving with Am I Smooth, and
who, like, watching it fine, and I remember seeing his name in like a pay-per-view result, like looking at something a few years ago, but I at the time have no memory of Am I Smooth being a thing. I don't remember the name until I saw it on paper.
Getting this much airtime.
None of this happened to me.
He's on multiple segments every show.
This is full Mandela effect. In my reality, there was no Am I Smooth. I swear to God.
The limo arrives, and out comes... so Am I Smooth? It's weird. He brings the gold record out of the front of the limo with him.
Yeah.
Tank gets out of the back, and he hands him the gold record.
Yeah, so he was just... the gold record got the front seat.
Bizarre.
There was a vote, and Tank lost to the record.
So 3 Count also get out of limo, and then the commentators... fake announce that they want to... Their record went gold.
3 Count and Tank are all kissing.
Yeah, and then they start implying that Tank is Colonel Tank or Colonel Abbott.
Or Colonel Robert Parker.
I don't think they're the same person.
Oh.
Also, I think one of them wouldn't like the other one very much.
Based on their lifestyle choices?
Yeah.
Tank wouldn't like Parker's cowboy hat?
No.
Did I understand?
Yeah.
What this was about?
I'm sure. Or maybe Tank wouldn't like Colonel Parker's love affection with Sensational Sherry.
He loved her to death.
He doesn't approve of their hetero lifestyle.
yeah, that could be it.
Then to continue a trend of the last several episodes, we get the first of many Cat segments.
Yeah.
So Jared is in Cat's office. He wants a match with Booker. Demands a rematch. Cat says that he saw what he did to Kidman. It makes him versus Kidman. Great. Next up, we get 3 Count coming to the ring. They're going to hang their gold record above the crowd so that the crowd can see the record all night.
Okay. That I didn't catch that, so I didn't know what or why they were doing it.
Gotcha. Yeah, Tank said that was why they were hanging the record.
I literally thought it was, we're going to hang this, and I hope a ladder match doesn't break out.
Yeah. So as Shane Helms is climbing the ladder, the other 3 go to dance, but out comes the Asian Assault.
The Carl Jung Dragons.
They run in the ring, and they blast Tank. Kaz knocks Evan off the ladder. Shane off the ladder, and he takes a really uncomfortable looking gut bump on the top rope.
Just like full, like falling top of the ladder to stomach on top rope.
Yeah. Then they decide to take down the ladder. They blast Shannon Moore with it. Then they point at Evan, and Tank starts to get in the ring, but realizes he's missed his cue. So he steps back out through the ropes.
Yep, very politely.
Stands on the apron and watches everything else happen.
Watches them smash Evan with the ladder.
Yeah. He then gets in the ring and one punches Noble.
Yeah, kills him.
One punches Yang.
Kills him even worse.
And then blocks a spin kick by Kaz.
Just a complete no-sell.
Grabs him by the throat.
Is about to punch him.
In comes the Great Muta.
Yep.
Who stops Tank from punching him. Blows Mist in his face.
Yeah.
And then they climb up and steal the gold record and leave.
Yeah. Yeah, so next few weeks we'll get to see the absolute worst period of Keiji Muto's career.
Other than all of it?
Ooh.
No. I'm joking.
Hot take.
Well, what's worse, then or like in the last 5 years?
Honestly, not much different. Like,
mobility-wise is like a 0.
Yeah, but like like 95 to 2000, he was just such a piece of garbage. And then he like shaved his head, grew a goatee, and got like real cool for a few years in the early 2000s.
Cool old man.
Cool old man. Cool Dad KG.
Is he bringing orange slices? Because Cool Dad Chris Ross doesn't bring them.
Orange slices and juice boxes.
Animal crackers?
Animal crackers. Goldfish.
Then we get more backstage promos, because that's what the rest of the night is. Canyon doing a terrible DDP impersonation.
I don't remember DDP lisping so much, but okay.
Yeah. But he brings up a valid argument.
He pinned Booker earlier in the night at the Bash.
So he's the rightful number one contender.
I 100% agree.
But
no one else should even have a claim.
I mean, maybe Jarrett gets a rematch.
Maybe Jarrett rematch,
Maybe.
but like I'd give it to Canyon first.
Yeah.
Canyon beat Booker. Booker has already beaten Jarrett.
Yeah, correct. Next out of the ring, we get Jarrett versus Kidman.
Kidman's working his ass off.
Kidman's working his ass off.
He's top 5.
Kidman takes
Oh my god.
the greatest hip toss over the rope to the floor bump
They do
in the history of wrestling.
They do the go for a hip toss in the ring, and then they keep blocking each other's hip tosses as they get to the ropes, and then Jarrett just hurls
Yeah.
Kidman over the top.
Kidman doesn't touch the top rope.
does
at all.
not touch the top rope, fully jumps over the top rope, lands hard as fuck on the outside on his
Yeah.
back. It was brutal.
It was
We're like,
crazy.
Billy, is it worth it?
They then later in the match, when Jarrett's laying on the floor and the ref's counting him out, down comes Tori to cause
Kidman also hit
distraction.
2 awesome drop kicks in the
Oh
ring.
yeah. He always hits pretty awesome.
Yeah,
kicks,
these
so.
are especially good.
So this is kind of like, to me, this is like really fucking bad booking.
Oh yeah.
Or like bad matchmaking, because Tori comes down to distract Kidman. Down comes Shane Douglas. Douglas goes to throw a punch. Kidman blocks it and knocks him to the floor. Tori gives him an awful low blow
She kicked him in the thigh.
in the thigh. Rolls him in the ring.
Yeah,
Jarrett goes for the pin.
2 count.
Kidman kicks out.
Then they just keep wrestling for a
Then
while.
they keep wrestling
Yeah.
for another like 2 minutes.
Mhm.
Jarrett hits a very labored you can't powerbomb Kidman,
Ooh, yeah.
which we learned was his finish apparently.
What they said was Kidman's finish, and it was amazing that Jarrett kicked out, because apparently nobody kicks out of the "you can't powerbomb Kidman."
And then they did have a pretty fun finish where Kidman goes for like the bulldog where he springs off the top.
Yeah, like they're run up the ropes bulldog.
And when he landed, Jarrett like
Just, like,
pulled his head out,
transitioned
but still
around
held his arm
for the stroke.
and gave him the stroke,
was
which,
good.
which was pretty good.
Yeah. Wrestling on this show, all in all, was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's like most of the good people, except
Yeah.
for Shane Douglas. So then we cut to the back, and we get Steiner beating up Canyon for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Maybe because Canyon's asking for a match,
Just,
a title match.
Just a standard hate crime,
Yeah.
I think, is the reason for this beating.
Then we get another cat segment, but it's the best cat segment of the night because we get
Karate? Ah.
we get Nitro Girl Beef.
Oh, that was a good segment, too. Yeah, the karate segment was...
Karate's pretty good, yeah, that's true. So Kat walks up to Mike Awesome, who's standing in the bottom of a stairwell talking to Nitro Girl Beef.
Which Drew noted with, like, 9 exclamation marks in his notes.
5, 6, 7... Oh, it's only 8.
Only 8, so close.
He then decides to offer Mike Awesome the U.S. title because Steiner used the Steiner recliner at the pay-per-view.
And then heretofore a heel Mike Awesome says, no.
Yeah, if I'm going to win it, I'm going to win it.
And I'm gonna fuck this large woman.
Which he does.
Yeah.
Or in kayfabe, I guess is. But, so the next match is Mike Awesome versus new champion Booker T for the world title.
Yep.
The match was pretty good.
Booker did every move.
Booker did all of his arsenal. Everything he could, except for, like, maybe, I don't think he did the Houston Hangover.
No, I think
the
those
Harlem Hangover.
I think those
whatever it
days
is.
are mostly over.
Yeah, but like, yeah, he hits all of his spots. Awesome did like, like the sling over the top rope and like crush Booker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the match was good. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it was pretty good.
Decent. On the sliding scale, it was actually very good.
Yes.
Of like Nitro matches.
Yeah. Post match, Steiner comes up and beats up Booker, but then Awesome worked the match heel.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, regardless of the fact that Booker's a face, he still worked really heel. He even yelled some, like, heelish stuff
Yeah,
towards
he did. He yelled at the crowd. Yeah, no, he worked at heel for sure.
So then when Steiner comes down to beat up Booker, Awesome makes the save.
Yep.
And then, like, chucks Steiner out of the ring and then challenges him to come back in, and Steiner doesn't. And then Awesome and Booker kind of have, like, a look at each other, like, respect moment or something.
So Mike Awesome's a face.
So Mike Awesome turns face.
Yep.
We then get another cat segment.
Karate?
We go to commercial, we come back, and the cat's in the ring. And he calls
How
out
long until karate?
He's getting there.
How many times do we see the fucking cat every show?
4 or 5 this time,
God.
7 or 8 last time.
Damn it.
Cat comes to the ring and he calls out Scotty Steiner. And he says that
We were trying to figure out the cat's accent. We can't place it.
It's weird. Because it's like he's...
Because it's not just black guy.
Yeah.
It's not even just southern black
He's
guy.
from Atlanta, but that's not what it is. Like,
I've heard guys from Atlanta. Their names are Andre 2000 and Big Boy. Did I say 2000?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
It's ridiculous.
Andre in the year 2000.
That's what I was thinking.
And Donald Glover.
What's Big Boy's real name? Why can't I remember his real name?
Pete Big Boy.
Did I Bob's Big Boy?
Bob's Big Boy. I don't know. Andre Benjamin's the only one you need to know.
I guess.
He was in movies, and Big Boy is dead, I assume?
I don't think he's dead.
Oh, he should be dead. The diabetes got him.
The Beatus. Come on, man. He made Shutterbug. Give him something.
So the cat tells Scotty that he's going to do something that nobody else will do, which is he's going to beat up Scott Steiner. Throws a really mean punch at him.
Yeah, like
pops him good.
That's good. I guess he knew he was about to get murdered, so get it in where you
He's
can.
like, Scott's going to kill me, so I'm going to get one good shot in.
Yeah.
Then Steiner fights back, throws a line that Cat takes like the laziest fucking bump. I don't think his feet left the ground even as he was going down.
He kneeled sideways.
Like, terrible. He sucks. This then proceeds to, like, Canyon, Booker, and Jarrett all run down to beat each other up and beat Steiner up. Cat then decides to make it a triple threat match between Jarrett, Canyon, and Steiner, with the winner getting a title shot at New Blood.
Which begs the question, why did Jarrett wrestle earlier? You could have had anyone wrestle.
Because as we decided by the end of the show, they were literally pulling names out of a hat. You are wrestling you tonight. We're both heels. Don't question the booking.
And now you three are wrestling. I already went tonight. Go again.
You're doing two. Then Goldberg comes out and says, in the best, he just goes, "Hey, Cat, how about we make this a 4-way?" And Cat goes...
Cat's like, "Okay, baby."
Yeah, sounds good, brother.
Goldberg says, "Thank you."
Even though they're all heels.
Goldberg might be a face now.
I don't think he's a face until we get to the match.
Yeah, he's a face in the match.
And,
but
at this point, isn't the Cat also kind of a heel?
Or face?
Like, they're all heels. It's 5 heels.
No, the cat's definitely a heel. Yeah. I don't know.
We come back from...
I think either the next match or the one after has both people switched from the last thing we knew them as.
The next match, not this one. The next one is Norman and Ralphus in the back, training to take out Vito.
Yeah.
With Ralphus running downstairs, and then Norman tries to get him to do push-ups, and he barely does one, and then Norman is disgusted by him.
And they're treating Johnny the Bull the same as they are as Hulk Hogan for some reason, and that, like, they can't mention
They're just
him
not
for some
mentioning
reason.
what happened.
I guess it's too horrible a thing, like, once a man's dick falls off, it's better left unspoken.
They don't want the whole crowd to be screaming the whole match when they find out what happened.
Because they were saying, like, it wasn't Big Vito and Terry Funk at the Bash, it was Big Vito versus Norman and Ralphus, and we're like, it was never going to be Big Vito and Terry Funk. It was going to be Big Vito and Johnny, because Johnny beat Terry Funk last week, despite the aforementioned falling off of Dick.
Dick off. Dick off 2000.
Cage, Travolta, Dick off.
Norman comes to the ring.
This is your dick.
This is your dick.
Oh my god, I can't believe I got Nicolas Cage's dick.
Now I gotta go find men's assholes. This is a whole
My
new...
son. My son, who I named after my favorite thing in the world, men's assholes.
They talk about how they're gonna beat Vito up, blah blah. Vito comes out, just beats the crap out of Norman.
They do a delayed obeying of WCW hardcore match rules in that they start in or near the ring.
Near the ring.
And then brawl to the back, because hardcore matches are supposed to start in the back and then go to the ring. So they start at the ring, but like, can't start here.
No.
Let's go to the back, and then let's come back.
Then
Which
the
they
bell
did, which I appreciate.
Madden referred to Vito as the Pavarotti of shots to the body, which I thought was kind of funny.
You liked it more than me, although I liked something else stupid, I think.
The finish. The finish was Vito doing a big splash through the table on Ralphus,
which was funny.
He goes for the pin, but then realizes it's not the finish.
Yeah.
So he stands up to just yell at Ralphus.
Yeah, like with his back to everything and bent over.
And Norman comes in and hits him with a chair, which knocks Vito out on Ralphus.
Norman starts
while
dancing.
Norman starts dancing. Then when he realizes he lost, he flees the ring and Vito threatens him, to which the commentators then say, "Such is life in the hardcore division."
That was it. That's the thing I liked. Mark Madden getting real philosophical, going, such is life in the WCW hardcore division. I'm like, you know what, Mark? Such is life.
After this, we cut to the back.
I gotta make a note to use that line in the description. Just such is life in
WCW hardcore division. We cut to the back, where the cat is storming back to his office.
Yes.
And out from around the corner comes Kazuhashi throwing some karate.
Like Kato in the Pink Panther movies.
Yeah, some karate. Which the cat counters and then proceeds to do a stop hitting yourself.
But like a karate version. So
karate stop hitting yourself, yeah. Then Yang pops out of one of the laundry baskets.
Yeah.
And he kicks him back in, throws Kaz in. Then Jamie Noble pops out of the third one.
Yeah.
The second one. He throws something and the cat counters it and beats him up.
Yeah.
And then just leaves.
And yeah, Cat's like, quit it.
He's just annoyed by these small men trying to fight him.
I'm screwing around. I'm the best at karate.
Like fake karate people attacking a real karate guy.
Yeah.
Although I would question the cat's karate ability. It feels like a scam that he ran in Atlanta for a long time.
Yeah.
And then Sonny Ono just stumbled upon him and was like, you know the ways of my people.
No, he was Bischoff's karate teacher.
That's what he was. Yeah. So he was Bischoff's karate guy. But I would love to see the cat's credentials.
Credentials? Yeah. Of the Young Dragons, who do you think is the best at karate?
Kazuhashi.
Disagree.
Really?
Jamie Noble.
Why?
Because he's that kind of Southern trash that definitely took adult karate,
like the fist foot way.
He's exactly he's Danny McBride in the foot fist way. He's just he had one too many days of riding the bus, sizing up every black guy in it and saying, I'm going to do something about this, and took adult karate.
Somebody he didn't dated one of his sisters or cousins and was like, I'm putting a stop to this.
And Diedrich Bader from Napoleon Dynamite was definitely his teacher.
Yeah,
but yeah.
A man with a mustache and a skullet taught him, a white guy with a mustache and a skullet,
American flag bandana,
taught him karate. And and Zubaz taught him karate.
Yeah,
and pronounce it karate.
But yeah, you can take that to the bank. Best young dragon at karate, Jamie Noble.
All right. Then for some reason we come back from commercial and Lenny Lane is in the crowd holding a sign that says "Use
a cardboard sign."
And then they proceed to Madden runs down the fact that Lenny Lane's his buddy and he's still under contract and they're not using him. Proceeding again to expose the business.
Yeah, and also that's true of 250 other people on the roster.
Everybody else that's employed.
Many of whom are better than Lenny Lane.
Yes, correct.
Lenny Lane is a bad.
But he's fake Chris Jericho.
Sure. You know what else is bad? Chris Jericho.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
His man tits.
Chris Jericho is averaging a match rating for 2018 of 4 7/8 stars. He has had 1 5-star match and 1 4 3/4 star match.
Yeah, well, one of those I agree with. One of them I don't.
I don't think I agree with either of those.
I mean, I would agree with the second one a lot more than the first one.
Sure. Even then.
Also, I don't give a fuck what Dave Meltzer says, considering he's given 2 5-star ratings in a week.
3.
Oh, sorry, 3. Yeah. 2 Omega matches and then
2 Omegas and the first
Mountain.
ever WWE television match anywhere to get 5 stars.
Great. It wasn't even that good. I watched it. I watched both of them, and they were both not that great.
Well, what are we going to do? Should we write our congressman?
if only there was some kind. No, I'm not even going.
Now I'm interested.
No, I'll tell you off air.
Hmm.
Next out is Lance Storm, who apparently is already heel after last week where he was a total babyface.
Complete face. Yep.
And I don't think turned heel on the pay-per-view.
I don't think so either.
So they just decided all of a sudden that, like, well, he's Canadian, so he's
came out and did boring guy Canadian promo.
Did boring guy Canadian promo and
played the entire Canadian national anthem.
Which, like, I was so shocked that he got through the entire
Yeah.
thing because in my mind, anytime that anthem played,
it gets interrupted.
A babyface would cut off the anthem, but it played the whole thing. But the fucking banter between the Scott Hudson, Tony Schiavone, and Mark Madden during the whole anthem was just insufferable because it was Mark Madden defending how Canada's such a great nation, and how Lance Storm should be respected, and then Tony and Hudson both being like respect needs to be earned. He hasn't earned respect in WWE, even though last week they were all over his D about like being a super baby face.
Don't know what happened.
Like fuck you. Like it was. I could.
Tony and Hudson were in an awkward position of having to say fuck this, but trying not to insult Canada at the same time.
Yes. There was a Thrill Seekers reference, though.
Yes.
By Mark Madden.
Which, featuring a line that blew our minds because it was true.
Yes.
Saying, like, he's mad they split up the Thrill Seekers 5 years ago. We're like, 5 years ago. We're like, oh my god, that was 5 years ago. All of this is ancient. Yeah. This is so old. That means I was 37 when the Thrill Seekers broke up.
Wow. I was 10.
That's right.
I did. There was one thing I forgot to write down. I don't know how important it is, but it does affect this match.
The debut of Kiwi.
The debut of Kiwi.
We are not mispronouncing that. They called him the Kiwi.
He said Kiwi.
There was no Kiwi.
But we were questioning.
I'm guessing this is before they got a cease and desist from Lorne Michaels because it was too close. Because he's just ripping. It's just a Chris Kattan character, right?
Yeah.
Which I never thought. Was he like a gay hairdresser or something?
Yeah, he
something
was
like that.
Overly flamboyant gay man.
Because when I heard the Mango, I thought it was Chris Kattan's like Monkey Man character where he'd eat an apple real fast, and I thought
have
like
big fake ears,
and I thought like Alan Funk like didn't understand like what impression he was doing, but apparently they're two different
things.
Two different characters of the multi-talented Chris Kattan, star of Monkey Bone.
Sure, if you want to call him that, or Corky Romano.
Can we skip Tuesday Nitro next week? Spoilers, guys, and just talk about Monkey Bone.
Done.
Oh man, you love
Come on, that was the best.
You love the cat doctors neutering your dream.
That was pretty fucking good.
That was great.
Cat heads in stuffed bodies was fucking great. A jacked stuffed bodies. So the reason we bring up Kiwi is because what's her worker name? Paisley. Is looking for somebody to repair the artist's costume before he goes out for his match, and when she yells at the costumes person, it's Kiwi or Kiwi, and he tells her, "You never talk to the Kiwi that way," whatever.
Yeah.
So Lance, who is now heel, is wrestling the artist who
was a heel,
now a face,
but I guess is now de facto a face.
Question mark?
Paisley,
even though
was on commentary, and
Charmel does commentary heel.
Let a woman talk again, and she was bad,
but she
and also a heel.
Full heel.
Completely.
All she did was talk about how Lance was such a bad wrestler and he was boring and Canada sucks and the artist is so good. So she's like, it doesn't...
But artist was like de facto face in the
And he was doing facey stuff.
And he was working face,
The artist definitely threw a phantom kick.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't even come close.
Yeah,
but Lance still bumped. But then Lance hit an awesome missile drop kick where he like half landed on him and then like plank shuffled backwards into a pin, which was pretty sick.
Yeah, that was rad.
But like, all of like, I would say like I said this. If we had a bottom 5 worst wrestlers,
Artist is in the conversation.
Artist is 100% in the bottom 5.
Sucks.
All of his strikes are like it's like winding up for a kick, getting 90% of the way, stopping yourself, and then just resting your foot on their back.
All of his strikes are just straight vagina bombs.
Everything is just the delicate protect your opponent. They're awful.
Yeah. He's so soft.
The finish was very interesting. That they were trying to do an Irish whip corner to corner, but like Lance holds onto the arm and pulls him down. Lance takes the back bump,
rolls through
to grab the leg into the Canadian Maple Leaf.
Yeah,
but it just like the bump was really weird and the roll through was really weird.
Yeah,
like,
the roll wasn't clean.
Yeah, like it was kind of sloppy, but like as soon as he locked it in, immediate tap.
Yeah,
like
so that was
way
good.
did not sell like his submission, but.
Yeah. But like pretty good idea, better on paper. Like could be done well.
Yeah,
it just didn't happen.
I'm sure he'll do it well to like somebody else.
Yeah.
Like there'll be more matches in the next like 6 months that he'll do it.
Yeah,
and then eventually he just starts doing like whip off the ropes, drop and roll through
That's the
right
standard,
into it.
yeah.
He goes back to that. This was probably just him thinking like, oh, that's pretty cool. And this
ways
guy's
to do it,
and
yeah.
in his head,
This guy's cruiserweight.
athletic and a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
But little did he know he's the worst wrestler.
He sucks.
Speaking of really bad wrestlers, next up is Vampiro arrives at the building with a Hearst.
William Randolph?
Yeah. Hearst.
Okay. There's no T.
Sorry, a Hearst.
I was like, why are we talking about Citizen Kane all of a sudden?
Then we cut back to the ring where we get fucking Ray and Hoovy coming to the ring because...
First we hear the song, and they're talking about the tag titles, and we're like, there's a potential that we could get Ray and Hoovy versus Chronic.
We unfortunately did not get that because we forgot about what happened last week.
And we forgot about Dre.
No, never forget about Dre.
Okay. Dre, 9/11,
Dre,
never forget.
Dre, secret gay. I hope he doesn't hear that.
9/11, 2001, The Chronic, never forget.
So Hoovy, I'm like, literally as they get to the ring, I said to Scott, oh, dear God, do not give Hoovy a fucking microphone.
It's okay. They just put him on commentary.
They didn't give him a microphone, but they did give him a headset. So next out is the MIA, which we'd forgotten had won the number one contenders match last week. But here's the
we
thing.
thought it was forgotten because they didn't get the shot at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. But here's the thing. So MIA are faces, and they've been feuding with the Filthy Animals, and they clearly recognize that Ray and Hoovy are at ringside.
Yeah.
But instead of letting Van Hammer and Chavo and Major Guns stay at ringside, they tell them to hit the bricks.
Yeah.
Don't worry, bros, we got this. But like, you realize there's heels out there that are going to try and cost you this match.
It's fine.
But I guess it's the honorable thing to not have your partners at ringside.
They've gone to the Mike Awesome School of Sportsmanship.
Fair. So next out comes Chronic, which of course is awesome.
New tag champions.
Hoovy on commentary for me kills this match before it starts.
He's horrible.
Could have been a 4. It was a 0.
Yeah.
Mark Madden refers to Ray and Hoovy as the juicer weights.
That's right. That wasn't fun for anyone.
You fat fucking pig. Ugh, I wish you would have a heart attack like Lance Cade and die.
At age 29.
At age 29, although Mark Madden is way older than that. Brian Adams hits his finisher, the second move of the match?
Correct.
On Hugh Morris, and then
Hugh Morris hits the moonsault halfway through
the
match.
But he hits the finish, like, straight up his finish in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Lashley runs in to break the save, and then Rection, no-sells it.
Yeah.
Like, he's immediately back up to his
just
feet.
back to it.
Then we get Ray and Hoovy on commentary decide that they're going to run in and fuck up the match.
Who'd have thought?
But they get cut off by O'Hare and Jindrak.
Back in gear
After their Hardy Boy pants. Then leads to the funniest thing that happens, which is tall
guys and small guys.
Jindrak whips Ray into the guardrail.
They're all fighting on the outside.
And then Jindrak goes to get Ray, but as he's going to get Ray, O'Hare tries to whip Hoovy at the same guardrail, and Jindrak walks directly into his line of running.
So he just has to stop
Hoovy just has to stop running when he gets to Jindrak, and he just he turns
just lightly
and just stops, and then just waits for O'Hare to walk over and jump him.
It was great.
And it's super awkward. Then the finish of the match.
Yep.
Is Brian Adams grabs Lashley, sets him up for a powerbomb, standing with his back at the turnbuckle.
And this is after a moonsault's already been hit.
Oh yes,
and high times.
And high times has already been hit. Yeah. So 3 finishers have been hit.
Yeah.
No pins.
Time for a new finisher.
Time for a new finish.
I think this was going to be a keeper. What do you think?
I hope they keep doing this because it was amazing.
I think
it was
on
amazing.
paper. I think on paper it was supposed to be.
On paper, it might have been cool.
Powerbomb top rope clothesline.
Yep.
Okay.
So
it wasn't.
Clark goes up. Adams gets LaRue in the powerbomb.
Lifts LaRue too far.
Too fast, I think, is what it was. Is that I think Brian Adams thought Lash LaRue would sandbag him.
Yeah, and
because everybody in WCW fucking
Lash
sandbags.
inexplicably jumped for a move and threw him off.
And so Adams starts to fall backwards to the turnbuckle as Clark is diving. I think Clark still vaguely gets him.
I don't know if he gets him.
But, like, Clark just, like overshoots him as Lash falls down.
As Adams falls, like, backwards onto a knee with Lash and power.
So Lash doesn't take a powerbomb.
Lash takes nothing.
Finish.
Lands, I believe, on his feet. And then they just pin him.
Finish. Like, straight up. They don't correct it.
Nope.
They don't go,
1, 2,
fuck
3.
it, let's high times them. It's just like, 1, 2, 3. Get your new finish over.
You're awesome.
And then as they hand the belts back to them, you can see Clark go to Adams and he says something, but I would imagine it's along the lines of like,
brother,
that fucking sucked. Like, let's never do that again, brother. Then the Perfect Event attacks after the match, but who gives a shit?
Hit him with Lex
Flexors, even though Lex isn't
not
even around
there
anymore. We get another segment of Vampiro in the back, coming to the ring, whatever. We then come back from commercial break, and Vampiro's in the ring. He's got the casket at ringside. Then the commentators tell us about how the fans should send their hopes and prayers and thoughts to Bam Bam Bigelow, who saved a bunch of children from a burning building. He has burns on 80% of his body, but he's going to be fine. Spoiler alert, he wasn't fine. He died almost immediately.
He's not that fine.
Actually, I think he lived a decent amount afterwards. But I think he died from complications from being burned alive.
From being in a fire.
Go figure.
For a long time.
A wrestler is a nice guy in real life.
I mean,
because I bet you there's a lot of people that would have let those kids burn.
The exception that proves the rule is Bam Bam Bigelow. This world didn't deserve you, Bam Bam.
Correct. But I guess the afterlife did. So Vampiro's in the ring, and he cuts a bad Vampiro promo again about living in the darkness, and he bringing people over to the dark side or whatever. And then he taps on the casket, and the casket opens, and the demon comes out of the casket.
Turn number
6. Then proceeds to, Asia comes in.
This is actually awesome.
And Vampiro demands that Dale Torborg, he even says his real name, he wants him to choke Asia.
Choke and beat his wife.
Vampiro promotes him to spousal abuse his real life wife, which is fucking hilarious. You could not get away with that now.
This would be tougher. It would be tougher to do this on Raw today.
Then before he can get his hands on her, the lights go out. Let's come back on. A man who looks like Sting, and according to Mark Madden, moves like Sting and runs like him and throws punches and does splashes like Sting, but he can't confirm that it's Sting.
Correct.
Because he's got his face taped up from all the fire.
So some sort of balaclava on.
Who he
or as they say in the Balkans, a balaclava.
He's doing his best Darkman impersonation.
Yes.
So he beats them up, chases them away, or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, now we get to the main event.
We did it.
The main event features
on paper is 4 heels.
4 heels in the main event of television.
It gets better, but.
So, they definitely, I don't know if they did it on purpose, or they kind of booked themselves into a corner, where they were
a good guess, but go on.
I mean, I would guess the same as you, probably, but it was they got out there, and then they realized, fuck, Goldberg's a face again.
It was people have been wanting to cheer Goldberg for a while. And we've put him in the ring with 3 heels.
3 heels, and 2 of which people fucking hate in Canyon and Jarrett. Yeah. I mean, Steiner was just a face, so whatever. But, the whole match is, Goldberg doesn't really get in the ring.
He never gets tagged in. He breaks up every pinfall.
Every pinfall. And then they just keep talking about how his role in this match is to break up pinfalls. Yeah. He's the pin saver, is what they call him.
Yeah.
There is one hilarious moment where Jarrett tries to goad him into tagging in, and Goldberg takes the biggest
big swing
and leans in too far and just gets caught on the top rope and almost falls in the ring, but manages to counterbalance himself back out to the apron. But he was going in hard way. The finish sees Goldberg get a blind tag on Jarrett. Canyon hits a okay. Canyon attempts
Fuck.
to hit a Canyon cutter on Jarrett.
It's Jarrett's
who Jarrett not only cane bumps on his knee,
Yeah.
but doesn't even land flat. He lands on his side
was fucking
and
trash.
rolls out of the ring.
It was trash.
But luckily, it was made up
luckily,
for.
a hero come in and immediately made up for it.
Goldberg murdered Canyon with a spear. Like, remember the one that we mentioned before where he did the spear, but like
The
handstanded
cartwheel?
it like to his feet? This one was better because he hit him with a spear and then just landed on his feet.
He went through his body.
Like, he hit him so hard that when he hit Canyon, his momentum projected him
Yeah, he like phased
back
through him
to his feet and stood up.
Yeah,
And just
it
killed him.
was so good. It was legit so good.
But then the actual finish of the match.
Oh yeah, I forgot that wasn't the finish. I'm like, oh yeah, Goldberg didn't win.
Steiner and Goldberg have a stare down. They then proceed to like grapple each other, and they go to the ropes. For what I imagined was supposed to be like either they both clothesline over the top, or like Goldberg goes to like belly to belly him, and
Someone was supposed to belly someone else over the top. I think Scott thought he was supposed to do it to Bill, but Bill sort of did it to Scott first.
But again, they both get caught on the top rope.
Yes, and just hang there
and
for a
have to
minute.
hang there for a second until they eventually fall out, and then Jared just pins Canyon.
Walks over and pins Canyon.
Just like, yeah, this is my, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And then Goldberg and Steiner have to be separated by security, but really, they're honestly just hugging each other against the guardrail.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even trying to hurt each other.
Nope.
They're just like, well, show's over, man. Let's just wait till the cameras go off. And the cameras go off, and everybody just... You're familiar, I'm sure you... I don't know if you've seen it. Semi-Pro?
Yep.
When the commercial break happens and they all start fighting each other, and then when the commercial break comes back, they all act like they were stretching and stuff. That's what I imagine happens in WCW.
Yeah.
Like, they go off
For
the
sure.
air, and then everybody just like they don't even need to like kayfabe it. They just stop, and everybody just walks up the ramp. Show's over.
Some of them holding hands.
Yeah, like talking to each other about what they're going to do after the
Yeah.
show. Like, no one cares.
The Jacksonville crowd is confused.
So
Jarrett, no more contender. Jarrett Booker rematch at New Blood Rising
New
in
Blood Rising.
Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
which, as many of you might not know, is where we currently are.
Yep. And the show I did not go to by choice.
Also,
Definitely could've.
didn't go because I was the only one of my friends who even knew who WCW were.
Oh yeah, yeah, you were in the minority, especially in 2000.
If it was a WWF pay-per-view,
Yeah.
my friends would have all gone.
Did you go to Raw in May 2000?
Yes. No.
No,
No, I did not.
I did. I got to hear American Badass played 17 times, including once live,
Yes.
which is pretty rad.
By American folk hero Kid Rock.
Yep.
We went to
By
the Raw...
future president Kid Rock, or at least senator. Or
Senator.
something.
Yeah. We went to the Raw in
Senator Rock.
2003, which was the
did not.
one where they announced the first Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
And we got a very bad Goldberg Flair match.
Nice.
And then we went to the one that was in... When was the last Raw that they were here? Whatever that was.
Televised? I have no idea.
Whatever the last one was. Like
Was there-
2000
what- was there one after 03?
2005, maybe?
Maybe 5.
And that was it. And then I've been to more house shows than I would like.
Yeah, you shouldn't tell people how many house shows you've been to.
40. It may or may not because I have a man with a child's brain and the worst tattoos I've ever seen in my life, who is a 33-year-old father, 32-year-old father, and the biggest mark you've ever met in your life.
Yeah, and just buys you
And
tickets
buys
to
me
those.
tickets and Ryback shirts.
That's
'Cause
correct.
He bought us matching Ryback shirts.
That's pretty cool. I need a friend like that. I need a Ryback friend.
Sure.
Maybe I just need Ryback. What's he doing?
$1,000.
I mean, it was $5 a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So if I wait this out, I can get Ryback nearly for free as a friend.
So that was the July 10th, 2000 Nitro, and I hope you didn't enjoy it even a little.